Very good evening, dear viewers. Watching on Emmanuel Makandewa Facebook stream. Welcome to the second live semi-finals. My partner in crime, Priscilla, is taking a break. The second live semi-final it is between two of the final players in their countries, officially or not. They are believed to be the best that their countries have got to offer. Could be debated or not. For Uganda, Joseph Kasozi at least ranked officially first by the Polar Association of Uganda, and unofficially Kelvin is considered the very best player in the country of Zambia. Now these two are facing off for the second time in this competition. Yesterday they faced off in the first live second round, the match that was won by Joseph Kasozi. It was the second time that he's defeating Kelvin this year, the first time having been at Q Masters in Dar es Salaam at that international competition that was won by the Zambian Royd. There was a pre-tournament competition in which Kasozi defeated Kelvin in the second round. This match is a race to 9 for a place in the final to take on the opponent, that is South Africa's Aiden Joseph. For Kasozi, this competition is the very best that he has ever performed outside his country. A lot of respect he has in his origin, that is Uganda. Outside his country, he hasn't been really delivering much on the pool tables, but today he gets himself in the final of the first life and the semi-final of the second life. This match has both of these guys now already $500 richer. As for Kasozi, he has another $1,000 courtesy of reaching the first life final. Confirmed for him, he has already $1,500, exactly what the Prophet Emmanuel Makandewa intended, inviting these guys that he normally watches online, just organizing a competition to celebrate his birth, but also improve the sport in the way that he knows how, by facilitating them. All they needed was to get themselves in Harare. Thereafter, the rest being catered for by the Prophet, including internal transport, meals, top-class accommodation, all the hospitality, name it. Kelvin, one of the most consistent players on the continent today, but he has never won an open competition. He has one invitational comp to his name, the ATA Africa Super 16-man comp that he won at Mchana Pub late December last year. Outside of that, he has a few semi-finals and quarter-finals to show. He's taking on a guy with whom they may be taking each other on maybe for the 5th time. The two having played a money match at Flintstones in Zambia late 2023, racing to 16, won by Kelvin by 16 frames to 11. They got rematch of that same action at Mchana Pub and Grill at the Grand Mchana edition of 2023, racing to 13 for $1,000 match, won by Decider by Kasozi. And then those two matches that they've played this year early at Q Masters, won by Kasozi, and then yesterday here in Harare, won by Kasozi. He stands on 3 victories against 1 of the 4 times these guys have faced off. This is the 5th, and it has seen Kasozi equalizing in the semi-final. Joseph Kasozi 1, Kelvin Fikoti 1. Kelvin and Mafia did make a tour of Uganda from late last year to the first month of this year, with Kelvin leaving the country late in January. Was supposed to have a match with Joseph Kasozi, but it didn't just happen. But the sport is so kind, it does give us those. Now here we are, having them on the center table. You are listening from someone that has been fortunate to be around so many comps involving majority of these players. The organization of the Patriarch's pool tournament has been one of a kind. Well-dressed players, well-fed, well-accommodated, all not having to touch any of their dollars. They also didn't have to pay a single coin for registration, and yet they have $15,000 that 8 of them are sharing between themselves, depending on the position they take in the competition, by the next 2, if not 3 hours. The one that has won the most of it all is Joseph Kasozi, who has gotten so far 1,500. If he wins this match, he takes another 500 home. He leads in the semi-final against Kelvin now by 2 frames to 1. Nice to see you guys on the Emmanuel Makandiwa Facebook page. Marisa Sifo Makansi, one South African that loves to support Ugandan players. Also when the Ugandan team was in Johannesburg, as well as Mpumalanga early this year for the Ultimate Pool Championships. He was almost part of the team, something that has gotten him problems, sometimes being called a treasoner. It is 2-2. Please accept my apologies for misinforming you in terms of scores. Kelvin, the pride of Lusaka, breaking frame number 3, aiming for the pyramid. The red, the front ball, hitting it hard. The break, however, is dry. That one is the best camera angle overhead, with the entire screen showing only the bed of the pool table. Just yesterday, they faced off against each other, with Kasozi winning by 9 frames to 6. For Kelvin, this match provides a chance to pay quick revenge. It will be so painful for him if he doesn't win this match. His career has been on a much higher trajectory last 2 years than Kasozi. For Kelvin, there have been real signs that he's getting into the big boys, the real big boys that normally win the comps. Of course, he won one of them at Mchana Pub and Grill. That one came with $2,000, the ATA Africa Super 16-man comp. Kasozi wasn't even invited to be a part of it. He has also come close a few times. Semi-finalist at Queens in Bulawayo early this year. Semi-finalist at Billiards Cafe in Lusaka for one of his lives last year. He was also a semi-finalist early this year at Billiards Cafe. He has that one thing he has not done, win a tournament that has more than 16 players that involve the top guys on the continent.
This dinner is very special. The food you've never seen before, even I have never seen it before.
He looks to be set to benefit from a frame he broke so open, with Kasozi failing even to close the table.
Immediately after the tournament, we are going to be served
Now Kelvin needing to put just 2 yellows
at the top.
and then black, and then regain the lead.
If you are hungry for more,
Safwan Manjira, thank you for watching.
to tone down the hunger. But
Roger Stacks, you think I'm not at the venue? You are lying. I am at the venue. I've been streaming for the whole competition, but for now, I'm commentating strict on the Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa page. I'm also recording the screen, I have to tell you, for the YouTube viewers, because there has been an issue with the YouTube stream for the Prophet. Joseph Kasozi 2, Kelvin Fikoti 3, the race is 9. Julie Namara, thank you for watching. Mariho Imran, you are asking how fast Jemba Ibra is. He was exited by Kasozi in the second live quarterfinals by 9 frames to 1. There is Kelvin. Indeed, like the guy in the lead, there is Kasozi breaking the frame, making one yellow ball sunk on the break, wanting to regain that needed equalizing frame. Masimba B2I asking if Caesar is still in. You're asking if he defeated Parker. From the same platform you are watching, that match was live. It ended 9 frames to 0. Caesar winning, and he's in the final of the first life. He will take on Kasozi Joseph, the only player left in the competition with 2 lives. Apologies for that glitch. We are getting sorted shortly. I think sorted we are. For guys watching on the YouTube stream, for the rest of this match, we are going to be watching it in its current quality. It is a double life competition, which by this stage has Joseph Kasozi as the best player in the competition for now, simply because he's the only one of 32 of Africa's finest involved in the competition with 2 lives. by 3 frames to 2. Once again, Kelvin is in the lead against Kasozi. Wanting badly to win for 3 reasons: maintaining himself with a chance to win the competition, 2, pursuit revenge on Kasozi for inflicting that defeat yesterday, 3, fight for the pride of Zambia, because he's the only one left in his country. For Kasozi, there is another Ugandan in this competition that is providing the best ever performance by the traveling Ugandans, who normally are shadows of themselves many of the times that they partake in international competitions. This time round, all of them besides Hazard have been performing relatively well. Ibra losing both of his lives to fellow Ugandans, Kasozi and Ian. Ian taking his first life into the semi-finals and the second life into the quarter-finals. Caesar taking his second life into the quarter-finals and first life now into the final. Kasozi having his first life into the final and second life into the semi-finals. As for the Zambians, Moses Murphy are out entirely. Same applies to Royd Kabwe. It is now Kelvin holding the flag that is predominantly green with yellow and brown and red. Kelvin on the verge of winning frame number 6, needing simply to roll the black to the corner pocket from this camera angle, which is top left of the screen, a range from which he will never miss. He leads by 4 frames to 2. That is the break by Kelvin in frame number 7. It is a scratch. Big opportunity for Kasozi to pull one back. Of course, he knows better that he has to start winning. Most of the times, Kelvin is that player that when he leads and establish a relatively healthy lead, it becomes absolutely difficult for him to give out the lead. He grows in confidence and stature. He grows in playing level. He wins more other frames. He normally wins such matches. He's one of 4 Zambians. The other 3 performing in the competition not particularly well, with the most reference to Victor, the seniorest of them all, who lost both of his lives in the first round to South Africa's Pila Mazambani, respectively, as well as Uganda's Ibra Sejemba. So we are now going to be having 1 match at a time, unless Kelvin wins. If he wins this match, then we shall have the 2 finals from 2 lives at the same time. It will be, if Kelvin wins, it will be Kelvin versus Aiden, and then Kasozi versus Caesar. If Kasozi wins the match, then we shall have 1 final first from the winners from the first life, then another final from the second life. Then if he doesn't win both, we have a grand final. He's playing like he wants to make sure that we don't have a grand final. If he can win this, and then the second life final, and then the first life final, he could be taking positions number 1 and 2. For now, he pulls one back, responding to clearance with clearance. This time round, a red apple, courtesy of Kelvin failing to make a ball on the break besides the white ball. Joseph Kasozi 3 and Kelvin Fikoti 5. It's just coming to 8 p.m. Southern African time, coming to 9 p.m. East African time, describing the time zone of both players involved in the competition. If you're just joining, Joseph Kasozi is down by 3 frames to 4 against Kelvin Fikoti. It is the second live semi-final of an ongoing 32-man championship that is dubbed the PPT, Patriarch Pool Tournament. That is sponsored by the Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa in celebration of his birth. First edition was last year. It was an all Zimbabwean affair because the Prophet has big passion for pool. It occupies the majority perhaps of his leisure. He plays the game, he loves the players, likes to support them, local and international. He's dressed them all. Same applies to the fans. World-class pool tables and table facilities, Aramis cue balls, very good technical services. Nobody will complain of the facilities. Whoever has lost will blame themselves. This will go down without a shadow of a doubt as the best organized competition on the African continent so far. Fans invited only. Fans that are attending the competition only by invite. Well-dressed umpires balancing all the genders. Like you can see, umpire Moyo. And of course, a very respectable prize pot of $15,000 with each player having 2 lives to fight for themselves and a relatively good race to 9. Not having the competition lag for 3, 4, 5 days, just 2 days. For as little time as Kasozi is seemingly winning the ongoing frame number 8. He will want to put black to the corner pocket top left, diagonally, for a reason he's called the sharpshooter, shooting balls like this. Sharp! And it's in. Joseph Kasozi 4, Kelvin Fikoti 4. The race to 9 is now a race to 5. Thank you for the appreciation, Berriat Chipopo, on the Emmanuel Makandiwa Facebook stream. And guys that are having issues with the YouTube stream, the Facebook stream on Emmanuel Makandiwa Facebook page is as clear itself. Tatenda Mashora, of course, watching proudly from Zimbabwe. Philip Chilufia, watching from Zambia. Thank you for watching. I'm just used to you guys. Sometimes I tell where the guy is from simply by reading their name. Gibson Katambala, thank you for watching. Jonathan, Isaac Matic, Eric Mwas, John Dombo, Eric Performalands, Chimwemwe Banda from Zambia, David Mwape, same applies. Masafu Alan Jonah, Gift Mushorwa, Bokamoso Tebe. Thank you for watching and appreciating the stream. We have frame number 9 upon us. A match that is taking less time even than anticipated, with 2 players playing pretty much the same style. The difference so far being how good they are breaking, with each one being a beneficiary of either a good break of themselves or a bad break from their opponent, cancelling each other out perfectly, playing 8 frames and winning 4 each. There is the sharpshooter, wanting to be taken down by there is Fikoti. It simply means a hard shot. In Zambia, he's Nyanja. I think it's Nyanja language. He has mixed performance in terms of his stats against Ugandan players. He normally makes it light, defeating the rest apart from two, Kasozi and Caesar. I'm speaking about Kelvin, who have defeated him 7 of the last 8 times he has taken them on, with Caesar defeating him all 4, Kasozi defeating him 3 of the last 4. Kelvin wants to make it right this time round for himself, for Zambia. To make it realistic, he could win this competition, which has $4,000 for the winner. For Kasozi, there is a realistic opportunity to win 4,000 plus 2,000. Actually, it is 6. Why am I forgetting? It is 6,000 for the winner and 4,000 for the second. If one of them wins positions number 1 and 2, which is possible for Kasozi, he takes home $10,000. How a life would have been changed around in just playing a few matches on the pool table. Kelvin onto the last 2 reds, potting 1, spinning the cue ball backwards a little into the yellow. Yellow hampens its movement. His realistic choice is now the diagonal pot of the red to the corner pocket, which is now at the top left. It's on target. Cue ball played off the cushion. And wins the frame. 5 for Kelvin as the Prophet uploads the clearance, and 4 for Kasozi. He's a very funny guy, Kelvin. He was baptized in quotes by one of the Ugandans, Hazard, as a junior officer when Kelvin toured Uganda together with Mafia, and started getting very good results against Ugandan players, in particular Ibrahim Kayanja, also reaching finals in some Ugandan comps, and inviting Hazard to a US dollars 2,000 money match. Then Hazard said, "There is no way I can fear to take on you, junior officer." Since then, Kelvin was rebaptized the junior officer. He came to call Hazard a new recruit who is lower even than a junior officer. The two have faced off twice since then, both occasions being won by Kelvin. But Kasozi is a stone in Kelvin's shoe. Kelvin will want to make right. The last 3 times they've faced off with Kasozi winning them all. Once in a race in Nairobi, the other 2 times in tournaments in Tanzania, and the other just here in the first life yesterday. Mike Odas asking if Ginte did participate. It has been a poor showing for Ginte, losing out his first life in the first round, losing out his second life in the second round. Makose Kasibe, thank you for watching. Saying when someone plays like Kelvin in South Africa, you say Ulambile. I don't even know. I don't know whatever it means. Nero is Nyasha. Thank you for watching. In Gweru, I know Gweru, somewhere in between Harare and Blawayo. Catalan Celeb, thank you for watching on the YouTube stream. Kabelo Mokoena must be watching from South Africa. Thank you for watching. Isaac Kagaba thinks Kasozi is on fire today. Isaac, just that for the last 2 frames, the fire has been watered by Kelvin. Being corrected that Kulambile means Angry. Is it angry or hungry? Hungry. Hungry for success. Hungry for apples. They've eaten a few apples in the game, these two guys. With Kelvin needing to pot, not deny himself cue ball for the last yellow. Cue ball off to cushions. In position enough to pot the last yellow. With appreciation from the fans. Him simply now having... He needs very slight touch between white and yellow. Cue ball will have to kiss the cushion just a little. He has guided it so immaculately. Playing drag effect on the cue ball after bouncing off the cushion. Behaving as though a ball that has lost the pressure. Having an almost straight line between white, black and center pocket. And yet he misses the shot. And gets fans shout to their disbelief. It's like they are having, for the majority of them, Kelvin as a choice of player to support. Kasozi will not care. He'll want to utilize this as a chance to pull a frame back. For Joseph Kasozi, in terms of achievement outside the country, that is Uganda, he cannot even maybe stand in this on the same line as Kelvin. In terms of local achievement, Kasozi has surpassed what Kelvin could have achieved back home in Zambia. He's been ranked now first, Joseph Kasozi, by the Police Station of Uganda up to the present date as we speak. In the national championships that were played just this recently concluded the weekend, he came third, a comp that was contested by thousands of players. As for Kelvin, in the Zambian national championships, he was defeated in the first round in the grand finale at the OIDC in Lusaka by a player whom I didn't even know. Frame number 10 is on the verge of being taken by the sharpshooter, just like 4 of the first 9. It will be a painful way in which to conceal the equalizer for Kelvin as Kasozi plays the last red with a little backspin to the corner pocket off the left cushion. The rest is just a formality. Joseph Kasozi 5, Kelvin Fikoti 5, race to 9. Special dedication of this live stream to the respective managers of these two players. Peter and Timba must be watching this action from Q Masters in Tanzania, Kelvin's boss. Making it possible for Kelvin to become Zambian, but then cross over to Tanzania, where he's now managed as a semi-pro player. Mr. Zach Idiro must be watching this action from Roxbury in Kampala. The chairman of the Roxbury team that had Joseph Kasozi as the players leader of them all 5 that traveled to Harare just after concluding the National Open less than 2 days ago. That was Sunday evening. Five between Kasozi and Kelvin. Timeout, Kelvin. I normally call the first frame after the timeout, the one that either justifies or unjustifies the player that called for timeout, because depending on the result or how good they play, we use that to determine whether or not the timeout worked for them. For Kelvin asking for timeout, he's vindicated now, because right on timing he wins the next frame with one visit of the table and regains the lead. Now him needing to win 3 and Kasozi needing to win 4 out of the remaining 6 as Kasozi breaks frame number 12. It is him on 5 and Kelvin on 6 in a race to 9. Breaking, aiming for the top ball again, hitting them reds and making one red ball. And a very good split of the balls. None of the balls on the table, reds, yellows, black, even the cue ball, none is frozen against the cushion, none is touching the other. It could be Apple, responded to by Apple. Even Kelvin's facial expression is one of worry that this is a frame I could lose the same way I won the previous. On 5 yellows now. A shot that he has just played, lacking a little bit of power, shaking his head in disbelief of an opportunity he may blow away if he doesn't pot the ball now. I'm not so certain he has sight of the yellow is looking at enough to pot it to the corner pocket bottom left. Even the one that is leftwards near the bulk line is not viewed in full, meaning that Kasozi is in danger. Kelvin simply seated and waiting for that opportunity for Kasozi to miss and Kelvin to pause, and Kasozi recovers, and recovers quite mightily, playing one yellow into another, off another, potting to the center pocket and getting back an opportunity to himself in full to win the frame and win it by break and finish. He got himself in trouble. He has just gotten himself out of the same trouble. We'll put yellow to the side pocket left. Cue ball played with top spin, bouncing off the cushion just a little like that. Should have left something of a bigger cut to guide the cue ball towards the different end of the table with ease. For the fact that the cut between white and yellow wasn't sufficient, he needed to cheat the pocket a little to guarantee cue ball movement. It's the same reason he has missed the shot. It's the same reason he could now highly likely miss the frame if he goes 2 frames down, as Kelvin is likely to win now. It's Kasozi now starting to live on borrowed time. With Kelvin starting to establish himself as a very potential opponent for Aiden in the first life final. Win or lose, Kasozi still can win the tournament, but now we'll have to fight it hard against Caesar in the first life final. This match is a semi-final in the second life. I hope you are getting the explanation and the stage. 6 frames to 5. The Zambian in the lead looks set to win a 7th. Pot to the center pocket with side spin in right motion. Could start with either of the 2 reds, in between which the white is. Looking confident, looking composed, also looking calm, and playing as clean as he normally does. One more pot. A big shot, but played with some ease. Cue ball with little backspin, as well as he's on target. The rest is a formality. This one to re-establish a 2-frame lead that he hasn't had for a long time in the match, as he wins another frame in the match. Now it is Joseph Kasozi 5 and Kelvin Nkandu 7. He's looking reserved. He's looking preserved. Not happy with what has just gone on, especially an opportunity he got big, Kasozi Joseph, and then did not utilize it big. Kelvin to break frame number 13, needing to win 2 out of the remaining 5. He's quite okay on the break. He's quite okay in the clearances. He's even more okay in terms of the current scores. With now a closed table, Kelvin is playing reds. He was able to put 2 of them on the break, closing the table, playing them, and using the cue ball to split other reds even more open. Kasozi nods his head in disbelief of a frame that is likely to be on the verge of being gone away from him, unless Kelvin gets it entirely wrong in his pattern. With one thing on the mind of the Zambian, to take Kasozi's second life out of the competition. Limit Kasozi's second life to taking the $500 for reaching the semi-finals. He's, after all, Kasozi, already another $1,000 richer for taking his first life to the final. He's the only player left in the competition confirmed with $1,500 so far. Aiden Joseph, $1,000 richer because of reaching the second life final, where he will be awaited by the winner of this match. Caesar as well, $1,000 richer. There's still a lot more money to be competed for, most especially by those 3 other guys. Are $500 to the good and don't have any other chance of improving the scores. That's the likes of Ian, the Ugandan, as well as Stephen Paswani, the Zim. That's the worried Ugandan. So far in this competition, he has not been knowing how to lose a match. Now he's clearly on the verge, because another frame is likely to be won by Kelvin as long as he sinks in the black. Break and finish by the Zambian. He extends his lead. It's Joseph Kasozi now 5 and Kelvin Fikoti 8. 4 frames to go. Kasozi must win them all or else drop his second life, wait for a first life final against Caesar. The dry break by the Ugandan has given to the Zambian an opportunity to take Kasozi out of his second life once and for all. Kelvin Fikoti, representing Zambia but also in some way Tanzania, going for a clearance which will take him $1,000 to the good if he can finish 1 frame. And I'm meaning this: the 6 yellows left on the table as good as the black. Has to put yellow to the corner pocket and also controls the cue ball, avoiding it to get sunk, controlling it well enough. He needs to make another ball. He simply needs support. A shot that sinks in another yellow. the same shot as well, providing him cue ball for yet another. Has to be on target. Maybe leave the cue ball positioned in between the two reds close to the yellow, such that he can have sight of the two yellows that are rightwards of the red. It's what he's probably trying to play, and plays just good. With every shot he's playing, another chance for more money. With now 3 yellows left on table, for a chance to pay revenge on Kasozi, for a chance to make the competition now split even more open, with no player having to be left with 2 lives, for a chance to make Zambia happy, for a chance to cause celebrations at Q Masters in Arusha and Dar es Salaam and Dodoma. And on comes the opportunity. Kelvin Nkandu needing simply to put 1 yellow ball on table, with Kasozi's worried face not causing any hiccups for Kelvin. Has to be on target. Cue ball bounces off the top cushion, and as long as it's in space, as long as he doesn't get snookered, he will be 1 more for the good. The Zambian is in business, aiming for black, wanting to put it to the corner pocket bottom right, and there he does. The frustrations of Kampala are the celebrations of Lusaka, as for the first time in 4 matches, Kelvin Fikoti defeats Kasozi Joseph in the biggest of them 4 matches that they've been having for the last 2 years. This time round, a little bit more convincing, benefiting from better breaking and better clearances. Maybe a little bit of fatigue from Kasozi. That won't matter. Kelvin will take on Aiden Joseph in the second live final. The first live final is also coming up between Joseph Kasozi and Cesar Chandiga. Thank you for being a good viewership. Let's meet in the next one. For now, happy birthday, Prophet Makandiwa.